What's going on, family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys are having a great and exceptional day. It's been a minute since I've been live on here since I had an issue last weekend, so it's been almost a week. But anyways, I had two subject matters that I wanted to get off my chest before I got into the rest of my evening. If you're having a good week, let me know. If you got any plans this weekend, let me know. If you're doing anything special this week, let me know. If it's your birthday, let me know. Either way, everything's chicken but the bone because my black butt is at home, as they say in Texas. I always say that all the time, ever since I heard that saying. Okay, so two subject matters, let's get into it. First subject matter. Men are not really looking to, a lot of men, I'm not saying myself, I'm not involved in this subject matter. Men do not really want to take women out on dates like that anymore. I've seen a lot of videos about this. I've seen a lot of posts on this platform and various other platforms and why men don't, women are asking the question, why won't a man take them out on a decent date? And, there's no gender war going on here. And the females that are asking for a reasonable request, I'm not talking about 5-star restaurants on the first date. They're just talking about a regular date, it could be a cheesecake factory, it could be an Outback Steakhouse, whatever the case may be. I would say Applebee's if they went out of business. Longhorn Steak, Texas Roadhouse, places like that. Something that's not like fast food, but something that's not, 5-star. Okay. So you have women that are saying, men won't even do that anymore. And I know certain kind of men, and we're talking in 2025 here, certain kind of men are not trying to do this with females anymore. Why? Because everything's so expensive. And a lot of guys are opting to say, okay, no, the ones that are just trying to get some have sex or just like, let's just, pull up, or I'll pull up at your place, whatever the case may be. Or at least, and I always say, hey, you might not like what a person says, man or female, but if they're honest with you, respect that honesty, because we live in such a fake, self-absorbed world right now that a lot of people are so fake that they don't even know what being honest is. It would probably kill them. All right, cool. So with that being said, you have a lot of females that are like, how come these men won't take me out on a date, on a real date and whatnot? And some guys are like, hey, I remember this happened a lot last year in 2024. A lot of guys like, hey, how about the first date be coffee, tea, whatever the case may be, maybe a walk in the park in an quiet environment where we can actually get to know one another. We're not, and then if we think that there might be something there, we can take it to the next step, maybe like a Longhorn Steakhouse, et cetera, and so forth. And, go to a real restaurant. And if there's something there, we build from there. Especially with everything being overpriced. That's why a lot of businesses are going out of business, because people can't afford a lot of things anymore, i.e. going out to restaurants, i.e. even going out to bars and whatnot, because everything's overpriced. And when you go to a bar and most restaurants, unfortunately, most of the drinks are very watered down because the bars in themselves are trying to save money, and that's why they're not going to give you a real drink. That's why it's becoming more and more normal for people to just have their own house parties. It's cheaper to go, the price that one would pay for 1 to 2 drinks at a bar, a person can go to a liquor store and get a bottle, and that bottle will last them much longer, and whatever the case they may be, and they'll pay the same price for that 1 to 2 drinks. They'll pay the same price for an actual bottle, meaning that you're getting more bang for your buck. And then we do live in an age now where a lot of people are, living a sober lifestyle, meaning that people don't drink at all. They've given up alcohol completely, and I'm not mad at it. I myself, the older I get, the less I drink. It's not like I drink a lot. I'm more of a social drinker, but the less I drink because I'm trying to be more healthier. I've been hitting the gym more, trying to get more in shape, eat right, things of that nature, and alcohol is just not good for you. So it is what it is. But I'm not shaming anybody for drinking. I'm not shaming anybody for not drinking. It's your life. Do you think what's best for you? All right, moving forward. Because everything is high, overpriced, high inflationary times, a lot of men are saying the heck with it. A lot of guys are just giving up on dating, just like a lot of females have given up on dating. They're like, I'm cool. And we live in such especially nowadays, we live in such sorry about that. Somebody's hitting me up. Let them know that I'm live. I'm live. So yeah, sorry about that. Anyways, especially in today's high inflationary times and whatnot, we live in hustle culture. We live in hustle culture where the moment everybody's waking up, they're trying to be able to monetize any and everything in life. Hey, I'm live on here right now. Would it be nice to monetize? Yes, but this is just, at the end of the day, this is like therapy for me. So, but anyways, but everybody's trying to hustle, everybody's trying to monetize every single aspect of their day, because regardless of the situation, you're having to spend money in every single aspect of your day, unless you're a homeless person on the street begging for money. So this is why we live in such so a lot of people like, I got too much on my mind. A lot of people's patience is running thinner. I know the older I get, the less patience I have. So these things are coming to fruition on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying, family? In regards to men opting out of the dating market, a lot of females opting out of the dating market. Didn't even have a thing of a lot of females mad that men won't come up and talk to them anymore in public. And I'm just like, but I've seen so many videos of females flipping off on a guy, guys getting arrested, for having a conversation with a female in public, that guys will opt out of trying to talk to females in public. And I had a young lady today, and this is what really inspired me between this and seeing 2 other videos on YouTube. The young lady was like, "Can I ask you a question?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." She might have been at the most 22. I'm 42 years old. I'm good. But she was like, "How come? Do you know why guys?" And this was at the gym today. Why guys don't really approach girls anymore? And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Cause she works at the gym, but today she was working out, so I was like, 'Hey, how you doing? Cool person.'" I said, well, we live in an environment now where guys are like, I'm good. But either they're scared to talk to a female in public, or I'm good. I don't need the headache of dealing with I don't need to go viral online just because I try to have a conversation with a woman and things of that nature. So a lot of guys will just utilize social media to try to talk to females because, hey, it's easier to hit a female's inbox than it is to just talk to a female. I was very shy when I was younger. I was much more socially awkward when I was younger. So thanks to social media, I was able and getting older, I was able to just come out of that shell and like, you know what, I'm gonna do me. You take it how you want to take it. You like it, cool. If you don't like it, have a nice life. Or as they say in Spanish, tenga una buen vida. Have a nice life. But anyways, so at the end of the day, that is a thing that is dwindling, and a lot of females are upset about that because they're like, how come they won't talk to me? And I'm just like, well, there's fear there, and I don't need the drama there. And I don't care what anybody says. A real man, regardless of his age, especially once I'll say once a man reaches the age of 25, he should not want to deal with anybody's drama, male or female. But let's just keep it real. All right. Last but not least, because I got stuff to do. So talked about dating, talked about going up, females men going up to females, and last but not least, going to the club. Now, if you see my videos, when I'm out of town, I go to a nightlife spot. I go to a lounge. I kick it. I have a good time. Do I go every weekend? Hell no, I'm too old for that. I call it the grown and sexy spots. That's where I go. Yes, indeed, and I have a good time. Now, one thing I will say with all sincerity is, in 2025, especially to the young guys, listen to me, don't listen to me. It is what it is. Why would you want to make going to the club a normal thing every weekend? Like my generation, we went to the club every weekend. That's how we got it in. I'm from the DMV area. We went to DC darn near every weekend, Georgetown, other parts of DC, to get it in and have a good time. But one, it wasn't as expensive as it is now. Two, the cost of living as far as high inflationary times isn't as crazy as it is now. And then last but not least, what's the purpose of going to a nightclub, especially for the men? If you're going to go there, you got to pay $50 or more to get in. You got to pay probably $25 for a drink or more. The drinks are going to be watered down and make you feel even more like crap instead of you making a drink at your own house. Then majority of the time, unfortunately, the staff, unless it's a real high-end nightclub, the staff are going to be very rude. And then the atmosphere is not going to be the best, and most people are not really there to socialize. Most people are going to be there to take videos, take selfies, and to be on their cell phone, meaning that you could have did all that at the house. So my case in point, as far as for the men, this is why a lot of men, I should say to a lot of the men, don't really go to the club like that, especially to the young men, unless it's like your birthday, you about to get married, a celebration, whatever the case may be. Don't be like my generation doing it every weekend, because this is the time for you to build your finances. This is the time for you to really get it in. I really didn't even start to go to the nightclubs like that until my late 20s, because my early to mid 20s, I was all about my money. And not meaning that I was working 2 to 3 jobs, 3 jobs for 1 year, 2 jobs for 5 years. And I was putting money away, and I was living like I had 2 cents to my name, didn't have a car payment, still to this day don't have a car payment, and because that money can go to my thing called savings and investments. I don't need to floss on anybody. I always say we're definitely living in a time where your bank account and your assets should be looking way better than your home and your car for regular everyday working people. Rich people, it's a different story. But what do I know? That's my personal opinion. I'll leave it at that. Okay. So, young men, stay out of the club because your health will be more affected. Your pockets are going to get more affected. And then another thing is, if you really want to meet a girl, why would you go to the nightclub? Go on, it's called that beautiful thing that I'm on right now, known as social media. Easier to talk to a female that you're interested in, or easier to get a yes or no, easier to meet up and go from there. If there's interest on her part, because we all know at the end of the day, women choose the men don't choose the women, at the end of the day. So if the woman's going to be interested in you, then she's going to hit you up. If not, then life goes on. You scroll to the next page, and it's a beautiful freaking thing. Okay, so that's one thing I would tell to the men: young men, be about your money, be about your skill sets, be about your health. If you got a family, be about them as well. Add that into the equation. But if you're young, early mid-20s, be about your money, be about your health, be about your savings, be about your assets, get your credit together. If you got a business, flourish in that. If you got a career, flourish in that. If you got both, flourish in that. Focus on those things. Don't be out here just chasing females for the sake of chasing females. 9 times out of 10, you broke, disease, kids that weren't planned, and I can go on. And I can say the same thing to young ladies, but definitely this is the video to the young men. This is no gender war nonsense, no gender bashing. I don't do that here. All right. All I'm saying is to be about your money, be about your health, be about your family, be about your wealth, assets, savings. Because in high inflationary times, guess what? The people who own the successful businesses and people who own the assets, their assets increase while everybody else's depletes. You know what I mean? So I just leave it at that. So those are the things I want to talk about. If I have the energy later, I'll talk about a specific community that does a lot of great things well that people could try to mimic and mirror from. And that's another way to become successful from an economic standpoint. And I'm not saying this to say, oh, you're going to get rich or anything of that nature. I'm just saying, hey, there's a blueprint out there. If you do it right, there's ways for you to make money move so you don't live broke like a fool. So I will title this video, Stay Out of the Clubs. No, don't go out. And men not approaching women or whatnot. I'm going to figure out how to title it. But on that note, do the great thiefy things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Make money move so you can live like food. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channels. First one is LarrysAnythingGoes, LLC. Second YouTube channel, Patterson Properties, LLC. LarrysAnythingGoes, LLC. Patterson Properties, LLC. Do the great thiefy things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Make money move so you can live like a fool. And if you want to contribute to the channel, I got Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all that good stuff. Or on YouTube, you can become a member and pay $1.99 a month. So do the great thiefy things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Make money move so you can live like a fool. Is it saying Spanish? Bienvenido a la vida. Welcome to the life.